Alright, so in this video I want us to cover tokenomics. Tokenomics is a pretty big topic. This is probably the longest video I've got in this course so far that I've filmed. Keep in mind it's out of order, but I filmed most of the course and this is probably the longest video. And tokenomics is a really interesting topic. And something I want to say before I get into this is that tokenomics is quite subjective and it is quite arbitrary to a certain extent. But just because a project has bad tokenomics doesn't mean you can't buy it. Just because a project has great tokenomics doesn't mean right now it's a good time to buy. So there's a lot of other factors that you're going to have to consider when you buy something. Just, besides the fact that, the tokenomics are good. No, it's not enough to buy. Tokenomics is just one of the many variables which you would use and I use in order to determine if something is worth investing in. It's like a little tick on one of the boxes. Like, oh, cool, the tokenomics are decent, great. It's also, in my opinion, tokenomics are really important to understand and to look at in order to determine maybe more so like the holding period of an asset and where you would look to actually sell the asset based on when a lot of the unlocks are occurring, whether the tokenomics are sustainable, etc., etc. So let's get into what even is tokenomics. So let me get a better sitting position here. So basically, tokenomics is the shortened way of saying token economics. So it's basically referring to the economics behind a token that make it have value. So, how many tokens are there? Are there new tokens being created? Who own these tokens? Are they locked up for a certain period of time? Are the tokens that are available staked? What can you do with them? What's the value proposition of this token existing? What is the token used for? Is money made by this project put back into buying the token? Is it a utility token? Is it a security? There's a lot of different questions and those all revolve around the topic of token economics. So there's two main parts of tokenomics. The first part is like how the token's distributed. So who's getting the coins and why and at what price. And what are the tokens used for to create demand? So do you need to hold Ethereum to pay for gas fees? Do you need to hold Ethereum to swap in the most liquid trading pair between different coins? Do you need to stake a certain amount of a coin in order to receive an airdrop? Do you need to stake a coin to use a platform? Do you need to hold the coin to get reduced trading fees? That's just a number of use cases that exist for tokens. Now, keep in mind, just because a token has, oh my god, it's useful in this project, like, oh my god, this token has so much value because you have to stake it. Just because that shit happens doesn't mean you buy it, okay? For example, one of my best performing coins has been Toshi. It's literally a meme coin. There's no what the token's used for to create demand tokenomics. There's no oh my god, yeah, this coin you have to stake it in order to receive airdrops, and you have to stake it to use their platform. There's nothing to use with Toshi. You don't use it for anything. It's just a vehicle for speculation, but it's one of the best performing coins in my portfolio. Whereas you could have bought a coin which has got great use case. Oh my god, there's going to be so much demand around this token. You underperformed a dog coin. So in crypto, what we're trying to teach you in this course is you have to sort of throw away being too stuck in what has value, because it's all about narratives. It's about the demand, right? Tokenomics is all about supply. It's a small part about demand, but it's all about the supply, okay? It's about the people who hold the tokens, okay? Now, an aspect of tokenomics is, do they put trading fees back into buying the token, which actually affects the demand for the token, but the demand from buying back the token is only a small amount. It's only a small, it's not going to, you can't make a coin go up just from, it's got trading fees going back into it. No, you need actual large amounts of buyers to come in. So when you're looking at the tokenomics, you're only looking generally at the supply side of the equation. You're not looking at the demand side. And the demand side, where does that come from? Well, that comes from the other things we cover in this course, which is the team, are they building cool shit? The community, are they promoting it? Narratives, is it a narrative that's convincing the people? all this different stuff, right? That's more of a demand side, and that's way more important. So in terms of specific variables, well, when you're looking at a project and you're looking at its tokenomics, do you mine it or do you stake it? Is there yields? Is there token burns? Is there token buybacks? Is there a limited amount of coins that will ever exist, or is it unlimited? Is there token allocations to venture capitalists, or is it a completely fair launch? Is there vesting periods? So how long are people locked for? Is there a cliff, as in like a certain amount of time a VC has to wait until their coins are unlocked? These are all like high-level variables that you can look at to determine if the tokenomics are good, okay? So token buybacks would be basically, let's say there's a coin which has like a sort of a business behind it. The business makes $100 million in revenue. 10% of the trading fees or the revenue goes into buying the token. That's a token buyback. Token burn would be similar to a buyback, but they burn the tokens, right? They just basically burn a portion of the supply, so it's gone forever. Yields would be like, sort of like staking. You lock the coin up, you get free money for locking the coin up. This is self-explanatory. This is just explained before. So what's the goal of tokenomics? Well, there's three main goals of designing tokenomics. Number one, you have to make the founders rich. That's why they build a project, they design the tokenomics, they want to be rich. But when founders design tokenomics, they do have to keep the holders in mind, okay? With every single project, with every single business in the world, there's a number of different stakeholders. And a stakeholder is someone who holds a stake in the success of this thing. So in crypto, similar to business, there's a number of stakeholders. There's the holders, the VCs, the developers in the ecosystem. There's the team, the founder. There's all different stakeholders, and tokenomics is designed to make it as fair for everyone as possible. Some projects make it way more fair for the community. Some projects make it way more fair for the team, or I guess unfair. And some projects really prioritize the VCs. Okay, so goal number one, make the founders rich. Goal number two, make the early investors rich. Goal number three, there's four main goals. Goal number three, encourage all stakeholders to make the most positive involvement in the ecosystem. And number four is make the token price go up long term, okay? If you can make founders rich, make early investors rich, make everyone do good things, and make the token price go up forever, you have succeeded in terms of your tokenomics, okay? There's a problem with this, though. Making every person rich is impossible. Markets are zero sum. Some people get rich, some people stay poor. Some people are poor and become rich, some are rich and become poor. It's impossible to have everyone rich. So the only way that you can make an early participant profit is for late participants to lose, right? If you buy it $1 and you sell it at $3, to sell it at $3, someone had to buy it at $3, okay? You entered at a profit because they entered at a higher price than you. And if the price goes back to $1, they lose, okay? So this makes designing tokenomics and engineering game theory an almost impossible challenge, as you simply cannot make everyone happy. Someone's going to lose, okay? So the reason that the stock market has been able to almost seem like it makes everyone money is because of a number of factors, okay? Four main reasons. Reason number one is that continuous inflation. So the stock market goes up like this. The inflation is going up like this. Stocks look like they're going up all the time, long term. But in reality, if you account for the fact that the dollar that it's going up in is worth less, the stocks are actually not really making you much money, right? You might have 5-10% growth a year in stocks if inflation's 5%. Your stock needs to go up more than 5% a year to make you money. And keep in mind, the number that they get you for what the inflation is usually lower than what the reality is, right? You look at certain inflation in certain sectors, it's way above the measured amount of inflation. Number two is a population growth Ponzi. So as the population grows, for as long as the population grows, we're all able to make money, right? In crypto, we can all make money at the same time, assuming that there is new people entering the market. This is why when we're in a crazy bull run, everyone makes money, because all of us in crypto can all be bullish and we can all hold coins and there can be no one left to buy except for new people, and we can all make money, as in the existing crypto people. And it's the same thing with the stock market. If there's 1 billion people and it's 50 years ago, and the population goes to 6 billion people, there's an extra 5 billion people who want to eat food, who want to buy a bottle of water, who want houses, right? Because there's 5 times more people, that's 5 times as many customers for your business, that's 5 times more revenue. If you have 5 times more revenue, your company is valued 5 times higher. If you're valued 5 times higher, your stock is going to go up and up and up and up over time as you get to about 5x of extra people. So as long as the population goes up, more businesses have more revenue, they're able to make more money. The stock goes up. And also, when you have more people, you just need more money in the economy to support more people. Inflation relates back to that again. Now, number 3 is innovation decreasing costs. So, again, the iPhone used to cost X amount of money. Now they make an iPhone 100 times better and it costs even less, right? Even though inflation has gone up a bunch since when that was. How does that happen? Well, over time we get better at making things cheaper, faster, easier, and it allows us to spend less money for the same outcome, and that allows us to have better margins on our business, which sort of increases the value of our stock because we have better profit margins, right? Because things get better over time. Now, obviously, in a competitive market, profit margins always go lower and lower, even if they become better through efficiency, because you have to compete with competitors. But innovation is a factor leading to stocks going only up. Now, another thing is that stocks don't inflate like cryptos do. So in crypto, a coin can have 50, 100% inflation in a year if it's new because all the VCs get unlocked. In the stock world, generally speaking, the amount of stock that exists is the total amount of stock. This is why stocks are an inflation hedge, because even though inflation can run rampant, there's still only X amount of stock in existence, and that's not going to change necessarily. So, it's a hedge against that inflation, because more money will go, if there's more money in existence to buy the same amount of stocks, the stocks are going to go up, right? I think there is some examples where stocks may issue new stock and it increases the total supply, but generally it's flat, okay? And this is what allows stocks to go up 10% a year averaged. And stocks have, arguably sustainable long-term tokenomics based off what we've seen. But, tokenomics, as we said, only goes so far. Again, just to rehash the point, tokenomics fix the supply problem. They don't necessarily completely fix the demand problem. Without demand, everything is worth zero, even if supply is limited, right? Imagine you made a purple rock and you said, there's only one in existence. It's so rare, it's worth a lot of money. It's only worth something if someone's willing to pay for it. And again, just to show you in a really simple visualization why supply isn't important, a lot of projects will do things like every person who buys or sells this coin pays a 10% tax. And that allows people who hold the coin to make money forever. But the problem is, if you charge buyers and sellers a fee, and there's no new buyers and sellers coming in, it's the same group of people redistributing money to each other. And so no one's actually getting wealthier, they're just all taking each other's money. But if you have new people coming in, demand, then you're able to have all of these people all make money together off of the back of these people, okay? So if you've got only the existing people, you're just taking from the same pool. If you have new people come in, you're growing the pool, and that makes all these people rich. So if you focus only on the supply, the tokenomics, it's got a 10% tax. When you move money, he sends it here. When you move money, it goes there because of the tax. It's just moving the money from here to here. It's a little bit different to having new money coming in, right? When the reason we want to focus on demand-related fundamentals is because the demand is what makes you the money. It's the new money coming in, which is where you make the money, okay? Now let's go over a few examples of some projects tokenomics. So Ethereum is what you would call a utility token. You got to hold ETH to pay for fees when you do transactions, and to use certain applications, you need to pay. You need to use ETH. For example, if you want to swap from Ethereum to a stablecoin, if you want to get a stable